Wednesday, April the 29th. I'm Scott Rickenbach from Doc Sports. Hockey action for you here. A free pick in the Penguins Flyers matchup. We're going to look to get a solid winner here between Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. Hockey action on Wednesday night. In this one, the Flyers about a minus 120 favorite at the time of this recording, and the total is 5.5, and that is juiced to the over, but a pretty solid 5.5 across the board. And again, Philly is a minus 120 favorite. So let's get into the free pick here on this Penguins Flyers matchup. A great series so far. But before we do, I want to mention the long-term run here with the free picks entering Wednesday is now 143 and 119, and more recently 62 and 48. So pretty solid long-term winning. We're looking to get on a red-hot run right now, but that's pretty solid for free picks, guys. And let's get to a free winner here. This one has been a very interesting series, of course, with the Flyers taking the first 3 games, and now Pittsburgh has roared back and taken the last 2. What I'm looking at in this one is the fact that we're seeing things really start to tighten up in this series now. It becomes different when you've got you go from a situation where Pittsburgh was looking to avoid getting swept to now they're right back in this series and a chance to, with a win here, send it back to Pittsburgh for Game 7, which, of course, the Flyers don't want that, but the Pens certainly do. And so you're going to see, in my opinion, kind of the style that we saw in the third period of Game 5 that was just taking place in Pittsburgh. That was a 3-2 Penguins win. There was no scoring in that third period. And that was the third game now in this series that has totaled 5 or less goals. And included in that batch of games was a 3-0 shutout win for the Flyers at Pittsburgh back in Game 2 of this series. But the point is, defensive-minded hockey here. I mean, the series has taken on a different look now at this point. I mean, the Flyers had a chance. They were up 3-0 in the series. They should have gotten one of these last 2 games, and they didn't. And that has really, let Pittsburgh come in. They've got a lot of confidence now, and Philly might be sitting back just a little bit now because they're in a tough spot, knowing like, hey, we've got to take this. We don't want to go back to Pittsburgh. We got to take this on home ice. When you look at this, the losing team in all these games, I mean, we haven't had any back and forth high scoring games in this entire series. The losing team has never scored more than 2 goals in any of the games in this series. So I'm looking for another low scoring battle here. That's why you're seeing, of course, this total at 5.5. It makes sense to me that, we're not able to get 6s out there, which would certainly be nice, but I still think there's solid value here with the under. We've seen some pretty solid goaltending, for most of this series. Really, just a slight exception, for the Flyers when they lost 4-2 and the Pens when they lost 5-2. But really, we've seen solid goaltending throughout. And again, the complexion of the series has changed, and that changes the style of play, just like we saw in the third period of Game 5. So here in Game 6, I'm going to go under the total of 5.5 goals, which another nice factor with that is that you don't have to lay any juice. At least at the time of this recording, that would be available at even money, which is certainly a nice factor as well. I like the value here with the under 5.5 in the Philadelphia Flyers game in hockey for Wednesday night. Remember, I have another video going tonight as well. And the way you make sure you don't miss out on any of these videos is to subscribe to the Doc Sports YouTube channel. Consider turning on notifications. You'll get notified as we post this free content for you on a daily basis. And that includes from myself and all the other fine handicappers here at Doc Sports. So don't miss out on that opportunity. And speaking of opportunities for free stuff, guys, my Twitter account, the free picks there are now on an 11-5 run. That's 69%. So 11-5 my last 16. Check out my Twitter account, which is at Rickenbach Wins. Again, more free stuff, and that's at Rickenbach Wins. There's a link for that below the video. Last but certainly not least, just want to mention quickly the 7-unit plays for me. A 7-1, 88% run, including 4 in a row. Those are the big games, guys. So those big 7-unit plus top plays, 88% run, including 4 in a row. And I do have a big one going on Wednesday night. So don't miss out on all the action. Check out my Scott Rickenbach page at Doc Sports. Appreciate you guys checking in here. And again, that's where you'll find my premium pick stuff, the Scott Rickenbach page at Doc Sports. Check out my packages there and jump on board. Let's have a big winning Wednesday. Thanks again for checking in. Best of luck today and always.